Okay, so this video is meant for my geometry students. We have a test over Chapter 8 Wednesday or Thursday, and this is your extended response question for Chapter 8. Again, Chapter 8, very important chapter. Alright, so here you go. It says that John on the left and Oliver on the right, standing 2 miles apart, simultaneously observe an airplane overhead and between them. John's angle of elevation to the airplane is 48 degrees. The airplane is 1.7 miles directly above the point shown in the figure. What is the angle of elevation of Oliver to the airplane? Round your answer to the nearest degree. Okay, so here's what we know. We know that this is John and that this is Oliver. We know that they are 2 miles apart, so this distance is 2 miles. Now, one thing to note right away is that this distance is not a part of a right triangle. This is a right angle here, and this is a right angle here. So there's two right triangles, but this 2 miles spans across both of them, so keep that in mind. John's angle of elevation to the airplane is 48 degrees. So this right here is a 48-degree angle. The airplane is 1.7 miles directly above the point shown in the figure, so this is 1.7 miles. And the question is, what is the angle of elevation of Oliver to the airplane? So this is what I'm looking for, x. So if I focus on this triangle on the right, and I'll do it in red. No, I'll do it in red. This is the angle I'm looking for, x. Okay? If I'm looking for an angle, I have to use trig. So label the three sides of this triangle. This would be the hypotenuse. I'll just use HOA because it's going to get messy. 1.7 would be the opposite side, and this down here would be the adjacent side. And if you look here, the hypotenuse, we kind of really know nothing about it, so I'm going to cross that off. The adjacent side, well, we know that this entire thing is 2 miles, so maybe we can use that 2 miles to help us find the adjacent side. And we do know the opposite. Okay. However, we don't know enough. We don't know this length, this adjacent side. We don't know the angle. So now let's come over here, and I'll do it in purple, to this triangle involving John. So maybe we can find this side down here. Let's call this y. Maybe we can find y, subtract it from 2 to get this adjacent side over here. Well, we do have a 48-degree angle, and from this we have a hypotenuse here, we have an opposite side over here, and we have an adjacent side here. Again, hypotenuse doesn't really matter, but we have the angle, we have the opposite. Let's find the adjacent. Sure. Okay. So tangent, so this is for John's triangle. Tangent equals opposite over adjacent. And again, hopefully by now you have that memorized. So tangent of 48 degrees equals the opposite 1.7 over the adjacent. We call this y. And again, I'm finding this y right here. Put it in a proportion, cross multiply. Y is getting multiplied with the tangent of 48. No big deal. Y, tangent of 48 degrees, equals 1.7. And now this is multiplication. There's a dot right there. To solve for y, divide by the tangent of 48 degrees on both sides. And when you take 1.7 divided by the tangent of 48, you get 1.53. I'm going to go 2 decimals just to try to be more accurate. And that'd be in miles. Okay? So what I've done here is I've found this length. This y is 1.53. And I'll put it very small right here, 1.53. So now, to find that adjacent side, I'm going to take 2. So this is now an Oliver's triangle. First thing I'm going to do to find the adjacent side in that triangle is I'm going to take 2, which is the distance all the way across, minus 1.53. And when you do this, the adjacent side comes out to be 0.47 miles. That is this adjacent side. And now we can use trig to find this angle measure x. Alright, so here we go. What am I going to use? Opposite and adjacent? Tangent again. Tangent of x, that's my angle unknown, equals the opposite 1.7 over the adjacent 0.47. And now if you're looking for an angle measure, the only way to find that angle is by getting rid of the tangent, and the only way to get rid of the tangent is to use its inverse. X equals the inverse tangent of 1.7 over 0.47. And when you type this in, inverse tangent of 1.7 divided by 0.47, we get an angle measure that comes out to be 74.5, and if we round to the nearest degree, that's going to be 75 degrees. And there is Oliver's angle of elevation to the airplane. Okay, so kind of a tough question because you had to do multi-steps, right? You had to think about it. So make sure you're thinking about these type of questions when it comes to extended response. All right, thanks for watching. Hope it helps. We'll see you on Wednesday or Thursday for your test.